What's up, everyone? My name is Mason. I'm here representing the Gay Gaming Pros today, and I'm very excited to have an extraordinary guest with us. We have Ruby, who is doing a debut stream coming up this Sundays. But without further ado, I'll just let Ruby introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Ruby, or CharityGoblinRuby, as I'm called on Twitch and Twitter. It's awesome to be here. I'm a streamer, video editor, and well, trans activist, I guess you could say.
Oh, all the above. You check all the boxes.
Yeah.
I actually want to ask, like, well, first, what inspired you to begin your streaming journey? Because I've seen a lot of Twitch streams, and I know you're doing your first stream coming up on Twitch, but like what got you to where where you are now, like what you're about to do?
Well, so this actually isn't my first stream. I used to work for a another streaming company called Twin Galaxies Live. This was back 2016 was probably when I left.
Where was this? The Twin Galaxies Live?
It was on
Twitch.
Twitch.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And we did all sorts of different games, and we shows. It
Like
was
what? Like paint the scene, because I'm kind of unfamiliar
well,
with
okay.
what they did. So like what kind of games? Like what was the?
Well, our big draw was when before battle royales were big. We were doing a game called H1Z1 Battle Royale, which was I wouldn't say the origin point for battle royale games, but it birthed the modern battle royale. And basically we would have a contest where every Thursday night people would come tune into our streams and try to guess at what place we were going to die. And if they did, they got a unique item that we had made specifically for our show.
Okay.
To for an in-game item.
An in-game item. Okay. And what was the audience like? Was it like very like interactive, or?
Yes, we had a mix of both fans and just people in general, but we had a good number of bots, cheaters, so on and so forth, stream snipers who tried to get us to die when they wanted us to die, which was always fun. Yeah. Anyway, but that was the big draw of our channel. We also did fighting games, which I am very much into these days. But anyway.
Ooh, okay. I actually just did there's a queer fighting game coming up called Drag Her. You should look out for it. Maybe this year. I just spoke to the creator of that game last year. It's like a drag queen fighting game. And it's everything that you would probably want and expect in a drag queen fighting game. It's incredible.
That sounds awesome.
Yes. Yeah. But okay, so you started there. Were you were you on camera then, or was this like your streaming identity back then too?
No. I was on camera back then. They back when I used my dead name as well, so I went by a different nickname. That
your nickname, yes. Okay. Yeah. We'll talk about where we got to Ruby, but first I just I want to find out more about this the streaming you of what this character is, and it's like the origin story behind that as well.
So the origin story about my character Ruby is I At the beginning of the pandemic, actually, I joined a online D&D game, to kill time while, the days were
Yeah,
passing.
we all picked up many
Bunch of
hobbies. Yeah.
hobbies. And my character was a so I was playing in a system. It wasn't D&D at the time. It was a randomly like where you make randomly generated characters, kind of.
Okay.
Like you're only given like X amount of things you could pick from. So
Okay.
I'm picked a goblin witch with an anchor as a weapon.
An anchor as a weapon, like
Yeah.
a ship anchor.
Yeah, I mean, you can
Okay.
see it in my background right there.
Wait, hold on. Let me look for it. Oh, so yeah, it's literally
It's signed against my bed. Anyway, but
next to Snorlax.
So yeah, that's how I came up with the character, and I named her Ruby Nambi, Nawby or Nawmby. So,
Okay, like okay,
nom, like you
nom. Okay,
nom on
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
and I fell in love with this character, and and eventually when I started up Twitter, I started following artists that I liked and so on, and I found a goblin artist I really liked, which I guess this is also how I entered the goblin community. I ended up joining
Ooh.
their Discord, and then their Discord led to another goblin Discord, which led to another goblin Discord, and I just ended up being part of the goblin community.
So like one path led down to another path, led down to another, and here we are.
Yeah, more or less.
How did you come up with the name Ruby? If you don't mind me asking.
So the character, so my character had bright pink hair, as you could see,
Mm-hmm.
and in the original art, it was based off of a Guild Wars 2 character I had, who was an Asura with bright pink hair. I don't know if you know what Guild Wars 2 is.
I'm familiar with the game, but I've never played it. Yeah.
Basically, they have these magic goblins that are like super technically advanced, and they're called Asura.
Okay.
But yeah, she had bright pink hair, and I'm just like, all right, well, I'm gonna name her Ruby, and
Back in
because
Guild Wars 2, correct?
yeah,
Okay.
and so I just took that name because I was using a picture of her to describe my character. Anyway.
Okay, because like the with the pink hair tied to ruby colored.
Yeah.
Is that
and
okay?
then red outfit, and then and then she's gone through several iterations, including one where she was a Super Saiyan. But
Ooh, are we going to see these iterations one day of maybe on your stream? The fans will love that, but you can't give it away just yet.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you tease it first and reveal later. So you created this identity back in Guild Wars 2. Was this image like generated for you, or did you like draw it, have someone draw it for you, or
so my neighbor, who is an artist of mine, who actually wasn't my neighbor at the time but is now, anyway, she basically wanted to draw all of our characters, and I commissioned her to draw like a full body ref of mine. I could send you a picture. I could send you that picture. I still have it, actually.
ooh, okay.
Yeah, and I like the design so much that I've just kept it, and it kind of became part of my personality online.
Yeah. Okay. And then now your real name is Ruby, correct?
Yep, I changed my real name to Ruby because I love this character so much, and she was kind of an I don't want to say a goal because it's not realistic, but like she was already kind of like a self-insert character for me already, but Ruby being Ruby, like I
have you written her
I
backstory?
huh?
Have you written her backstory?
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah,
all
I
right.
could send that to you too if you want.
We're gonna have
But
a great conversation offline, but
yeah, yeah, I'm sure we will. But yeah, so Ruby became my real name because I identified so much with this character when I transitioned, and I'm just like, I like it.
lovely,
Unfor-
beautiful, beautiful. All right,
unf-
so
the unfortunate thing is my mom has a dog named Rooney, and so
oh
she
my
always
god.
gets our names mixed up. But anyway,
Wait, what kind of dog is it? I'm a
it,
dog daddy.
it's a tiny white. I don't know.
You don't
It's
even know.
basically a
Okay.
snowball with legs.
Okay, all
Um,
right.
you can probably find pictures of it online. Uh,
Okay. I also have a white dog, but he's a Shiba Inu, so that's a little bit bigger than whatever white
yeah,
fluff ball your mom has. I personally prefer like a little bit bigger and just
yeah,
cuddly. But all right, so that's great. I just want to also just touch on, you said you're a trans activist, so for everyone, Ruby is trans female, but I just want to talk about like just if whatever you're comfortable with sharing, like your journey of how you became Ruby, and yeah, just because I think I would love like our audience to also like just
yeah.
to hear a story.
Well, um, it all started when I was in high school. Well, technically it started before then because I came out as bi, and then but the transitioning came out during high school when a friend of mine, who I know prefers not to be named, so not gonna name them.
Yeah, sure.
Uh, they asked me, what what gender are you? And I'm at the time I never really thought about it, so I replied the obvious answer. Well, at the time I was a boy, and so I'm like, I'm a boy, I'm male or whatever. And they said, oh, I just want to make sure. And you know they and it got me thinking, and so I thought about it
They
for
had
like,
already known that you were bi. Is that
yeah,
this friend? Okay, all right.
yeah, and they just want, and you know um and so I thought about it for a while. I I brought to the therapist I was seeing at the time, and they actually shot down the idea in probably the most brutal way possible. So
Oof.
I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah, that's between you and your therapist.
Yeah. But yeah, and then so I lived as a male for many years after, till like the pandemic started, and then my wife, well, my now wife,
Hmm.
uh I'm like, I think I finally decided that I want to live as a a, a woman, be female, and
Hmm.
transition. And I want, and the fact that, and she was very accepting because I told her that this might be a possibility in the future when we first started dating,
Okay.
because I've never felt comfortable being, you know, masculine. And so uh, I brought it to my mom, which is, I guess, where the People magazine story starts, because I've done an interview with them in the past.
Okay.
And basically, my mom was my mom's first reaction was hilarious. But anyway, she's I told her I'm trans. I want to start hormones and stuff like that, and she's like, men can wear dresses these days, right? it may I love my mom. I really do. Some of the stuff she says is just, oh my god. But yeah, that was hilarious to me. I and I'm like, there's a difference, mom. Anyway, and so
I'm sure a lot of parents that just don't have like an understanding. I'm sure your mom is more well versed in the trans community now and understanding of
oh yes,
what
very much
the
so.
differences of
It
wearing
was
a dress.
it was hilarious though.
That's a good response though. I mean, it's it's good that you had a funny response in your journey to that
Yeah,
in your experience.
yeah. Anyway, but so then my mom, like, it took a few months. But I got on hormones. Then the People magazine interview happened, and then my Twitter literally blew up from like having maybe 50 people following me to over like 5 to 6K in like the matter of like 3 days.
Wow. Was it like, were you expecting that, or like was this like a, were you welcoming of the
Oh yeah,
the masses coming out? And okay.
and I got so much hate on Twitter for it. And, like I got so much hate on Twitter for coming out and stuff like that.
Well,
But the thing is that despite what despite most people, I actually enjoy looking at all the hate comments because it's like, look at all these stupid people hating me without even knowing me.
that's really their problem at the end of the day. Like you're gonna continue living being you, and they're gonna have whatever
Yeah.
reaction. But yeah, but it sounds like you did also like have a lot of like warm response and welcoming, and I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, probably like just like unintentionally became a trans activist as well,
Yeah.
because of your People magazine interview, I assume. But
Yeah, and I still post pro trans stuff on my Twitters, whenever I can, and it still gets hate. I've been called a pedo and a groomer more times than I can count, and at this point, it's just why? Why do you say this?
that question will never be answered. But
Yeah,
also, like, it's amazing your now wife was so like welcoming too. Like that's just like, I think, a very inspiring story that you have to share. You have like a great reaction from your parents, or at least your mom, and like your now wife is like just been an incredible partner as well.
yeah.
That's amazing. All right, so you talked about goblins. And I want to brush up on that subject. So I did a little bit of research, and I think what I know, okay, I think is the goblin community finds the beauty in your not so typical, or your typical like ugliness in your everyday objects. Is that correct?
It depends who you ask.
Okay.
So, being part of the goblin community means different things to different people. Like so most of them are just artists who love playing D&D, but the goblin community got a big influx because, or had like a big growth spurt because of oh, what was the character's name? Oh, Not the Brave from Critical Role.
Not the Brave from Critical Role.
Yeah, her name is Not the Brave.
Not the Brave. Okay, and the game, it's a game called Critical Role.
No, it's a streaming show.
Oh, okay.
It's a streaming show put on by Matt Mercer where they play D&D, and they
Okay.
and it's a bunch of voice actors doing like all these different characters, and it's anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, Not the Brave, blew up the goblin community because she's awesome. People loved this character, but anyway.
Okay.
And
And
then
And you like took this deep dive starting at the beginning of the pandemic back in 2020, is that right?
Oh no, I only started about a year ago.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, I joined like I was following Goblin artists for a bit. I had no idea there was a Goblin community till about a year ago, where I got introduced to a friend of mine named Gob the Cookie Goblin,
Okay.
and who bakes people's souls into cookies. Anyway, yeah, it, it's a whole thing, but yeah, and like he's the one that inspired me to start streaming and stuff, which
Okay.
I released a comic kind of depicting my character first being introduced to the Goblin community, by the way.
Okay. Okay.
It's all over my Twitter currently. But yeah. Um, so my friend Gob introduced me to the Gob. Well, that's not true. A goblin artist by the name of Cove, the beach goblin, introduced me to the Goblin community because they were the first one. But Gob was the one who inspired me to start streaming as a goblin because everyone loved my design since
Hmm. As
uh
you expect, right? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, well, also my goblin's pretty unique when it comes to goblins. I mean, first of all, she's albino, so
Okay.
and well, kind of albino. There's more of a story into it, but it's too long to get into.
Okay. Okay.
With big pink colorful hair, and anyway, you get the point. The point is that like my character was unique, everyone liked her, and so I ended up joining the greater goblin community because and just my character became like I don't want to say like well known, but like people recognized me fast in there.
Okay. And what does becoming a part of the goblin community like mean? And remember, this is PG-13.
Of course. And so basically, the goblin community is just people who want it. Like we all use our goblins as our avatars, more or less, and that's all it really means. And we enjoy goblin like art of goblins. We enjoy different goblin characters, and some of us are just we role play goblins online. We pretend to be goblins. Heck, there's there's a dude on Twitter. His name's Sam the Goblin,
Hmm.
and the dude is just a goober. Like, there's no better way to explain it because like his posts are just like are just like his goblin being weird, and it's just him photoshopped into weird situations or with weird sound effects put over it on like some videos, and it's amazing. Like,
Okay. Uh, I love that you use the word goober because people don't use that description often enough. But it just like really does perfectly summarize someone sometimes.
yeah,
But that's great. Okay, so it's just like it was. So it is drawn from the D&D world, but like it has become its like own like community. Is that my like am I correct in that understanding?
yeah, it seems like it. And several goblins, have kind of, you know, blown up the streaming world with who they are, which are like Honey Goblin, who is like the biggest goblin streamer at the moment, I think.
Soon to be CharityRuby.
Hey, I am nowhere. I'm nowhere close to her yet. But then there's Steve Hornsby, who is another really big inspiration for me. Who you know is also a Goblin VTuber who is also very very popular. And they're just a bunch of us, and most of us are just starting out, and some of us are literally just starting out. But I look forward to seeing where everything goes.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be like cross, you guys will just like do some kind of stream together or
Oh
play
yeah.
play D&D together on streams in the future. I don't, I'm sure there's some things that you have in mind. We'll talk about like what to expect in your future streams. But first, since we are the gay gaming pros, gaming is in our name. I already know that you love D&D. I will, safely assume that. I'm also a gamer myself. I actually have a few gaming tattoos on my body. So I have a Resident Evil tattoo. It's very,
Yeah, it's
very
Nemesis. It's a
yes, never,
decapitated Nemesis
yes.
with
So
the umbrella symbol under it.
exactly. So for those who know, thank you, Ruby, for describing that. And then I also have a Goomba tattoo, who's my favorite Mario character. So I love playing as Goomba on like Super Mario Party on the Switch.
Nice.
Do you play Super Mario Party?
I famously beat down both the Game Grumps in Mario Party.
Beat down the game drums?
The Game Grumps.
Oh, the game drum.
Yeah, it's on their YouTube channel. Hold on. Yeah. I'll need to find it, but yeah.
Okay.
It's uh,
Yeah. Share the link later. I want to see this. I want to see this video. There's so many great things to come. Okay, so who's the character that you typically choose either in Super Mario Party, or do you smash or play
okay, so Mario Party, it's Bowser Jr. Definitely.
Bowser Jr.? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay.
Smash Bros is Isabelle. Don't ask me why. I just like Isabelle. And then if I'm playing Mario Kart, I'll either use Larry Koopa or Wendy Koopa.
Oh, okay. Great. And just no rhyme or reason why, just you're drawn to them.
I like the Koopa Kids, and they are probably the most underused like characters in the Mario franchise, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like, if someone asks you your favorite, if you ask someone their favorite Mario character, they're not going to say Larry. People wouldn't even believe that's a Mario character. It is.
But
Yeah.
okay, all right. So I choose Goomba for Mario Party. And see, Smash, I am Mega Knight, just because I am terrible at Super Smash Brothers.
Meta Knight.
Or Meta Knight, sorry. And thank you. And that's how like I don't care about that game that much, because I'm so bad at it. I just button mash, but Meta Knight can just typically destroy anyone that's on there, right outside of Kirby. And then I play as Tanuki Mario on Mario Kart, but I'm pretty good at Mario Kart, I gotta say.
I see.
But wait, what were we about to say?
We gotta play sometime.
We will play sometime, yeah. What are some of your favorite games? You obviously know I love Mario things, but I have Nemesis tattooed on my body, so I clearly love Resident Evil.
Fun fact, I actually have a bunch of my favorite games above my chair here.
Oh,
as you can see.
Okay, little Easter eggs all over. Okay.
Yeah. But Kingdom Hearts 2 is probably my favorite game of all time. It's up there. It's
okay.
But let's see. If you want to, like, my favorite fighting game is probably Guilty Gear Xrd or Guilty Gear Strive, depending on what you guys want to play. I can beat people down in both.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Is that PC or?
It's on every console, and I think it's in crossplay next month. So
what's your preference?
I use PC.
PC, okay.
And like F-Zero is another one of my big favorites, and there's a rumor that's coming back this year. So
F-Zero? What's F-Zero? I don't think I've heard that.
So you've played Super Smash Bros, right?
Yeah,
You know Captain Falcon?
I do. Oh, okay. All right.
This game.
It's that
Yeah.
game. Okay.
Yeah. Because nobody knows F-Zero. Like, I don't know why nobody knows F-Zero. They all know Captain Falcon. They all
Everyone
know
knows Captain Falcon. Yeah.
it's a racing game. It's a super fast-paced racing game, and it's crazy fun.
Okay. So they're remaking it possibly this year?
They're relaunching it. So like, as in, they are making there's a rumor going around that they're making a new F-Zero game. It's been 11 years since the
Oh
last
wow. Okay.
11 plus years actually.
They just been keeping Falcon alive through Super Smash.
Yeah,
Okay.
literally.
Um okay, so all right, you love F-Zero. Any other games or board games you could share that you love playing too?
If you want to talk board games, then Red Dragon Inn is one of my go-tos, and Dragon and Flagon, or which is another fun one. I also play trading card games, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, and the One Piece trading card game. I'm a big
Okay.
anime nerd as well, so you know.
All right. Well, I personally, I've not gone down that territory just yet, but I would love to play some Mario Party or something on the Switch together. Or wait, what did you say you could beat down people in? What was the game again?
Guilty Gear.
Guilty. Yes. Okay. So
Guilty Gear Strive.
Guilty
Is what
Gear.
it's
Oh,
called.
Guilty Gear Strive. Either or, whichever. You said you could beat people down in both. So I would love to challenge you in something some fun.
We're definitely going to have to do that at some point.
I also just want to talk really quick. So I'm engaged, so I'm in like wedding fever right now. I read online that you just got married last year to your amazing wife.
Yeah.
And you also cosplayed in World of Warcraft gear. I just like, oh, was this your
My
dream
mother
wedding
was
like come true?
my mother was in World of Warcraft gear, not me. I was actually Squiggly from Skullgirls, which is
Oh,
a
okay,
different fighting game.
okay.
And my wife was dressed up as Elefelt Valentine from Guilty Gear, actually.
Oh, okay, okay.
But
Was everyone in cosplay or?
yeah, I
Okay.
mean, there's a picture of when me and my wife kissed, and everyone in the background's in costume, and
Amazing.
it's amazing. It's tons of fun. It was tons of fun. It was a very chillax wedding. It was, it was beautiful, and
Yeah.
I couldn't have asked for a better day.
Okay. So who between you and your wife, who was the one to pitch like, let's just dress up in cosplay for a wedding?
We
This
both
is
we
you
both
both?
agreed on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why did you decide on the character that you did for
Well,
Squiggly?
so okay, that's a funny story, because Squiggly wasn't my first choice. I was going to cosplay my favorite Guilty Gear character alongside my wife, so we're both Guilty Gear characters, right? A character by the name of Venom, who is really cool. He's a really cool character. Only issue, he's topless.
That wasn't your vibe for
Well, no. Because I came out as trans and I started getting bustier for I no longer could do that. I could no longer pull off that look with it being appropriate.
Okay.
So yeah.
So your next in line.
My next in line was Squiggly from Skullgirls, who
Okay.
is still one of my favorite characters, and yeah, she's still my point character on my team in that game. But anyway.
What was besides you and your wife, what was one of your other like favorite cosplays that you saw show up?
Well, my mom was Jaina Proudmoore, which was amazing.
Did you choose that for her?
She just wanted a cool character, so
Oh,
yeah,
so okay.
I yes. Let me think. My a very close friend of mine came as Giovanna G- Giovanni from Pokemon, and then another friend his brother came as Ash from
Okay.
Pokemon, and then their wives were Pokemon. Which was
So
awesome.
do you have like a group photo of everyone in their costume for your wedding? I don't know if it's
Not
like
everyone. I would need to go find it.
oh, okay.
There's our family. Like there were over 200 people at that wedding. Like I'm no. The answer is no. But there are a lot of pictures I could probably find of people at the wedding.
Okay. I'm very curious. I myself, I love all things horror related. So
No wonder
where
you reached out to me.
well, me and my fiance, so I we're not getting married on Halloween because I love Halloween. So we're in October, there's actually a Friday the 13th. And I was like, please, can we just get married on Friday the 13th in October? It's just like a dream come true. And yeah, so we're actually getting married on Friday the 13th, but no cosplay is expected for that day.
The priest
Unfortunately.
comes dressed as Jason. Anyway, but yeah.
No priest at my so that's okay. That's I loved it. I love seeing that online and finding a few photos from your wedding. I thought that was just like super cool.
Yeah.
All right, but I think we're gonna just wrap things up here. A last thing I want to ask you is just like your stream is coming up on this Sunday, January 29th. I just take us a little bit deeper into like what to expect from your stream or any upcoming streams. Like what do you actually want to like get out of like doing your streaming debut and then like furthermore?
So my debut is going to be a tier list, which has been there have been people in the queue for like months at this point because I announced it in December what I was doing. Anyway, but basically I'm going to be listing people's OCs, VTubers, whatever, as what D&D class I think they're going to be.
Okay.
There are a lot of goblins. There are like 50 goblins in this, and it's going to be a fun time, and just fine. And so I'm expecting a good amount of people. I have a bunch of friends moderating, and I'm going to be joined by my friend Gob the Cookie Goblin.
The Cookie Goblin. Okay, all right.
He's a great dude. Anyway, but
This is the one that eats or turns souls into
people.
cookies?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it takes people's souls and turns them into cookies. Yeah. Yeah, specifically Oreo-like cookies. But anyway.
Yeah, well, I'll have to ask you about that later. What that even means. Okay.
No,
okay, so the two of you are
going to be judging all these people about what class they're going to be in Dungeons and Dragons.
Got it. Okay. And that's gonna be your stream, yeah?
Yeah, and in the future, obviously gameplay streams. I plan to do like Kingdom Hearts 2 because it's my favorite game, or one of them. I recently was on a friend's stream helping him through another one of my favorite games called Symphony of the Night, which is a Castlevania game, which was a lot of fun. So I may do that or do like one of the Castlevania-like games in the future. Anyway, but I'm mostly going to stick to my favorite games to share them with the world and everyone, and any money that is donated to me is going straight to the Trevor Project. So
oh, amazing. Okay.
Yeah, hence the name CharityGoblinRuby, because
CharityGoblinRuby. Yeah. Okay.
I just give my money to charity.
Oh, that's incredible. Okay.
Yeah, this is all just to have fun. In my like, I want this to just be fun, and then people come in. If they donate to me, they donate to charity to help a good cause.
Yeah. Well, I would love to be welcomed on to your charity stream at some point. No
I'm
pressure
sure we
though.
can make it happen.
Okay. All right. So this has been amazing speaking with you. Where can people just find you on socials? Just give it a shout out. We'll have it in the description, but
I'm Killer Kitten 66 on Twitter, and I'm CharityGoblinRuby on Twitch. That's all of my public stuff. I don't really have an Instagram. I don't do that. I may do that in the future, but check my Twitter. I'll let you know.
Twitter and soon to be Twitch. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, amazing. Well, thank you again for talking to me today. And I look forward to the many great things that comes between our friendship, Ruby.
Of course. Can't wait.
All right, thanks again.